Well, I remember the early days with Jill Austin, back before she became well known, and the time when she was, paying her dues. Times that are often forgotten about when ministers become well known. But these are very important, formative times. They were formative for her and formative for us. My wife Mercedes was working for her as a secretary up in Tustin. I happened to have a modeling agency that I worked for right next door. And I remember Jill used to go, "Oh, those heathen over there," and I'd come in and go, "Yeah, those heathen over there." She didn't know I was over there with the heathens. But anyways, she saw that I was looked fairly healthy and fairly in shape, so she recruited me to be the push starter for her car Gia. Now this was not something I wasn't used to. I used to have to do that with my own Volkswagen fastback or squareback or whatever it was back in the day when I would go surfing with friends. Then I'd say, okay, I'd have to grab some people, push start the car, and we'd have to drive home with no lights on. Well, so I was used to this kind of thing. Jill got me going as her push starter for the Gia. I'd go to these meetings and I'd have to push start it to get it going. And then, I remember one night in particular, man, this car was really running bad. I tried to push start it a number of times with her in it. It was a lot of work. Then that wasn't working, so I had to push start it and jump in it myself, all by myself. And there was it would lurch and get going, and then there was barely any brakes. I almost hit another car. And man, this was a routine, getting this car started for her. And, she didn't have a whole lot of money back then. And it was just really, a struggle for her. But God was really using it to form that kind of iron in her soul. And He really used it for us, too, to see, when you go into ministry, you got to pay your dues. You got to go through those times and not to be dismayed or discouraged by it. David spent quite a number of years going through trials, as did Joseph, as did many others. Well, we got the push starting the car thing going for a while, and then it was on to the cats. We got over her house, and she's living with her mom in Mission Viejo or something. You gotta help me feed the cats. And I get in there and I'm like, "Cats." I thought 2, 3, and there's 30 of them. I mean, what are you doing? What is all these cats? She had 30 cats in cages in the garage. And she's like, "Well, I'm trying to make extra money." I was going, I don't know if this is a good way to make extra money. It looks like a good way to get cat allergies, have cat hair all over your clothes, man, and have the place stink up the joint. I mean, man, there was a lot of cats, a lot of cat poop, and a lot of cats to feed. Boy. But she was just trying to do what she could to make ends meet. I guess breeding cats was something she knew. So she tried that for a while. I don't know how long it lasted, but a couple times of that, and I'm like, "I'm busy. I'll push start the car, but you can feed the cats yourself." So anyways, we were with her with a lot of meetings, in her early time. She was going from place to place, and she was always saying, "Please pray for me, because I just need some favor with these pastors. I cast out a demon out of someone last week, and the pastors are all over me." And it's hard for me to comprehend. I understand it more now, but I'm like, what, they want the demons to stay in? But, it's just this politics that go on in the body of Christ, and she had to slug through that too. All the political baloney that people have to go through when they're cutting their teeth. And then after you're well known, they all want you back to do their conferences. So it was a really, I think, formative time for her, putting that iron in her soul for her later ministry. I mean, it was real powerful. I mean, we'd go to those meetings and God would just show up and they'd go on all night. And she gave us a lot of words that encouraged us, that set the kind of tone for ministry we're doing now. And it was really formative for us to watch her go through those trials, to see if this is not something abnormal. We all want to talk about serving the Lord and ministering, but you got to pay the price too to get there. And so we learned a lot from her in that, and it was a blessing to be friends with her and know her and see God use her. God bless.